Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining my new live Mental Backroads and Highways with Valerie Propsfeld. And I have my incredible guest with me today, Ambreen Nadeem. Thank you so much for being here, Ambreen. It's an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much, Valerie. It's really an honor to be here and on your very first shows. I'm so excited. And first of all, congratulations for starting your live. It's really good to conduct live shows. I really enjoy doing live shows.
Me too. Thank you so much. And I am so thrilled you can be my first guest because I just love everything that you're doing. And I would love for anyone who's listening to this live or to the replay to learn more about the incredible work you're doing, Ambreen, and to learn more about mental backroads and highways as well, since this is the first episode. So let me tell you guys a bit about all of this and why we are going live and sharing all of this with you. This live show, I interview incredible leaders who are trailblazing and pioneering for a better tomorrow in our homes, our communities, and globally. And this live stream, it's a part of the Two Mamas to Love platform and focuses on different topics in my upcoming book, To Mamas to Love, Pioneering a New Kind of Motherhood. And in that book, I use my neurology background, storytelling, and passion for growth to share actionable tips to live in the moment with more peace and love. And the book discusses generational legacies, neuroscience in a practical way, as well as dives deep into 6 mental backroads. So mark your calendars. It will be available in the early summer of this year, 2025. And without further ado, I am thrilled to introduce with you my amazing friend, Ambreen Nadeem. Ambreen is a true mental backroad trailblazer. Ambreen is among the top 100 global thought leaders in 2024. She's a psychologist, founder of Psychology Talks, and co-founder of Save Lives Project. Ambreen is an Amazon best-selling author and a keynote speaker. She is a podcast host of Psychology Talks, as well as a mental health advocate. She's actively spreading awareness and helping people to deal with mental health issues through counseling, blogs, podcasts, and live shows. So again, thank you for being here, and tell our listeners about yourself, Ambreen, and about this concept of mental backroads and highways. I'd love to hear your thoughts on just the amazing power of the brain, the growth mindset, and neuroplasticity in general from such an incredible expert such as yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's First of all, I'm looking forward to your book. I mean, congratulations, and it's really something that I am eagerly looking forward to reading your book because it talks about the things that we face every day, and especially as a mother. I mean, seriously, it's so many books are there about talking about neurosciences, that how to deal with the situations when we are in a perplexed situation, or sometimes you're frustrated, but nobody talks about, like, how a mother should deal it with this perspective of neurosciences, and with the perspective of, like, how what's going on in the internal chemistry of mind. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm waiting for it. So coming back to your question, that what mental backroads are, it's the concept of neuroplasticity and how the mind works. It's all about the repetition, that when we actually keep doing things, it creates a neural path, and when we keep doing the same thing, that neural path get strengthened. So whether it's like doing something right thing or the wrong thing, whatever it is, the path is getting stronger. And sometimes we get stuck into the wrong kind of scenarios, sometimes the wrong kind of situations, and we are dealing the situation in the same way, which keeps building up the stress and anxiety. So we keep on, and that's what, like, we see the mental backroads, and we going, instead of going forward, we keep going backward, and we get stuck. We were not progressing in that way. So that's why it's so important to actually doing the same thing is important, because it is consistency, but at the same time, it is important to know that you are doing in the right direction or you're going in the back direction. So I think that's simple. I could describe in a simple way.
Mhm. Absolutely. And I think it's just so key as far as, when I first learned about the growth mindset and Carol Dweck and what she talks about of pass versus fail and how that's not really a thing. Almost like, in my opinion, failure shouldn't be part of the English language because it's all about growth. And when I replace the word failure with growth, and I think about the neural pathways, that neuroplasticity, that growing of my literally in my brain, it makes me excited. It gives me hope that we're always growing and we're always learning something new. And I think that's just so key for us all, not only mothers, but just like everyone. And I love thinking about it in nature too, and all of that. We're all connected, we're all learning, we're all growing. And thank you so much for your insight on that, Ambreen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so
Yeah.
sorry, I'm like pulling up my outline here. It's like, and I want to ask you a question here about your podcast and your platform. I should say your platform, not necessarily the podcast. You have that, but you have so many other things. But Psychology Talks, was that the first one you founded? And also, please tell us about, you have an incredible book as well that I just love, The Algorithm of Life. So tell us more about all of that.
Sure, sure. So it's Psychology Talks is like, people know me as a psychologist. I'm so passionate about psychology. And that was one thing that I developed in the platform Psychology Talks. I think in 2016 or something, or 2018. I don't remember exactly. It is a kind of when I started writing as a blog here somewhere. It's one of the very big blog, Pathways to Jada. And then I thought of my platform like with my name as it like Psychology Talks. And then I started sharing all my articles and all my knowledge about the mental health. And so like that's how, like, when I actually moved to Saudi, I started my kind of a blog. The first blog was like with the name of Psychology Talks. So that's how it started. But then later on, I was sharing my blog there on this Pathways to Jeddah. Uh, then I later on that I started sharing all my articles on LinkedIn, and I got a like fabulous response because people started liking, and then people could connect with me on that, and that's how I actually discovered LinkedIn, because that was the platform I thought that okay, this is the right platform. Because I know that Facebook and Insta are there, but somehow it doesn't, I mean, maybe resonate with me, or it doesn't resonate with my audience. So my kind of audience, I think, are on LinkedIn, and that's how when I started sharing um, my articles and my post, then I attracted like people who are like-minded. Then I started my newsletter with the name of Psychology Talks, because I was sharing my articles and I thought that, I need to give some kind of a organized structure so people know that, when they are coming to read my articles, they know exactly that what I'm talking about. So it's all the Psychology Talks. And then since I was writing articles and I was meeting with a lot of on LinkedIn, a lot of people who were like-minded, and they were appreciating the thoughts, and the thing is, they were doing amazing jobs they were doing amazing work in their field as well. So I thought that, it's better to create a podcast, because then it would be an opportunity for me also to learn directly from them, and then from my audience also. So they can learn directly from, not only from me, but from the people who are already successful in their fields, and then who are doing already great work in the field of psychology, mental health, or even in any other field. But they might be sharing their insights at how they make use of psychology in their field. So then I started my podcast with the name of Psychology Talks. I think it was in 2020 to 2021 to 2021 June, I guess, I remember. So that was, and again, it was also, as you know, that it was all my social media presence was all driven by the motivation of publishing my book, because I wanted to build my identity for to publish the book. Because as a marketeer, I know that if nobody knows you, even if you author up an amazing book, nobody will read it. People need to know that, what are you offering to them. So I was trying to build my identity. It was kind of a personal brand. I was building a personal brand on LinkedIn, on social media, so people know that if I will be publishing a book, what they should expect. And they should know that, okay, if I'm giving some information, this is credible, authentic information. It's not something like, that I got the information from here and there, like overnight, and develop it and this. So I was sharing all the knowledge, and the about the psychology, and all my work about related to psychology on all the social media platform, to build my personal brand, so I can publish. When I publish my book, people know me. And then I launched my book in on August 2020, August 2020, sorry, 14th August 2022. So that was the time, and it was a big achievement for me, because this was the book that I was working on for 20 years. And it's definitely not easy to work on any project for such a long period, because you know when I envisioned that goal in my mind, like, and it was quite impossible, and it was a wish for me, that kind of, it was a fantasy also, you can say that. I wanted to be a published author at that point in time. It didn't seem that I could achieve that goal. But I wanted so badly that I said, okay, let's keep trying. I know that at that point in time, I knew that I might not be able to achieve it, but I thought that let's give it a try. Maybe I'll keep trying bit by bit, and I will achieve. And that's exactly what happened. That there were times that I used to think that I think this cannot happen, because sometimes the pressure from the society, from the people around me, was so much that I used to think it's not worth maybe following my goal, and it's better to actually conform to the society and everything. But then again, when I was so passionate about it, something inside me used to just push me towards that goal. I said, okay, I know, I think whatever these obstacles are, I need to follow my goal. And that's exactly what's happening. Like, I tell you that I used to even write articles right after my doing my master's in psychology. In When I was in Pakistan, I had developed my personal brand over there in Pakistan also. But then when I had developed my personal brand there, because I used to give lectures to the university, I was having a good career at a like big company. And I was writing articles to the big newspaper and magazine and blogs. But then my husband moved to Saudi. So all my personal brand that I thought that I had developed at that time was actually gone back to zero when I moved to Saudi. And then, but I always take everything happens for a reason. And that also happened for a good reason, because at that point in time, when I was building my brand, was only limited to one country. Like, I was working, like, I was sharing my knowledge and for that particular country in Pakistan, and I was there. People know me around me, but was a very limited number of people were. And then when I moved to Saudi, of course, it took a long time to develop again my personal brand over there. I didn't have any idea, especially this country, of course, has a lot of restriction for women and everything. But I needed to find out that how I can build that brand. And but I was doing like bit by bit, like I was meeting with people, and then whatever, like I used to share also that, okay, I have this vision, but with the right people. And like, that's how, like, even in Jeddah, I met some of the ladies who were authors, and I did share that, I want to be an author like you. And then they helped me also somehow, that they introduced me to this, the blog, and then I started writing for that blog. So I think it was a long journey. It was like 20 years is not easy, and especially when you have a lot going on in your life. But I think when you have a focus, then you can achieve. So yeah, I mean, I think I would just say that it's just in brief I could share.
That's amazing. That's so inspiring, Ambreen, and thank you for sharing that story and the resiliency that you've had and the passion that you've had. It's so inspiring. I know you have been such an inspiration to not only me but to so many people, and I just love everything that you write about, everything you advocate for. And Ambreen, I love talking about the quote from Viktor Frankl. Where he talks about this space. And that brings me to a question that I have for you, because that's kind of part of why I talk about mental backroads, because there's a space between stimulus and response. And when I am having a stimulus or a reaction, when I'm using my fight or flight, like maybe I'm running late or I'm frustrated about something, I get a stimulus of whatever that is. And then what Viktor Frankl says is between that stimulus, or I'm sorry, between stimulus and response is a space. And in that space lies our power to choose. And within our power to choose, within that space lies our growth and our freedom. And I think that's just such a profound thing to say. And I really felt like that's when I could take different back roads. I could take like maybe a gratitude back road, a mindfulness back road, trying to lengthen that space, realizing I'm responding, or I'm sorry, I'm reacting as opposed to responding. And so what has helped you, like when you are feeling down or feeling discouraged or any type of kind of just sticky emotions that we can't get out of our brain? What do you feel like is helpful for a mental back road that you would use?
Yeah, that's a very good question, actually. It's and I love that quote, and especially I love his book. Viktor Frankl is one of my favorites, and the way he describes that how we can actually choose to respond is actually build our personality, our life, and everything. And it is like, as you mentioned that, in that quote, that the time, it's very limited that we have, that we need to choose, that do we react, respond, not to respond, or what. And most people go on the autopilot mode, right? They get the same response, the response that is instinctual response, right? It's just like if someone hit you and then you just, oh, what's this, or whatever it is. It's the same response they keep on doing it. And as in the beginning you also said that, it's because of this neuroplasticity. Since they're doing this, they have been responding the same way. The neurological path was so strong that it has become like a strong habit. It's kind of this subconscious mind, and it's unconsciously they're doing it. Whenever somebody say you're bad, it's like they started shouting no, and whenever something goes wrong, they started getting into the panic attack or something like this. But then if it is happening the same way, you will always get the same response. It's the law of the physics as well. Like, if you react to something, you get the same reaction in the same way, right? So whatever you do, you get the same reaction in the same way. Again, I would also say that, Einstein also said that, if you keep doing the same thing and expecting this different result, it's insanity. So in that scenario, what happens with the most of the people is that they've been doing the same thing over and over and over again, and they expect the different result, but it doesn't happen. That's why, you see a lot of people live the same life. It's over and over. It's just that they might have like 70 years of life, but they have been living the same life, the same. They wake up every day, they have the same mental overload. emotional overload that they've been carrying from the past day, and they live the same emotional trauma the same day, and then they carry forward same way. The life has been not different from them, because they have been on an autopilot mode. They've been living the same life for forever. Like it's like the same way for the entire of for the rest of their life. But in that way, I listened to Dr. Joe Dispenza also, and he also points out that, if you've been living the same emotions, if you're living the same thoughts over and over again, you will have the same reality. In order to change your reality, what you need to do is you need to change your thought patterns. You need to live the future that you want. It's not, you cannot develop the new future if you are living in the past, having the same thoughts again and again. You wake up in the morning and it's, oh my god, it's 5 a.m., I have to do the same task to-do list, and then you go to the bed with the same mindset, with the same thoughts. You will have the same life. In order to have the different life, you need to live your future. Like whatever you goal you have been envisioning, you need to live it in a present way. So that's how your mind realize that, okay, this is achievable, and this is how you change the reality. And that all happens in that moment. What Viktor Frankl say, that it's the moment that we decide either to react or to respond.
Absolutely.
We just need to, where for like you asked the question that how I handle it is, I'm maybe by nature also, I would say I'm not a very spontaneous person. So like, whatever happens, I just step back and I just said, oh, what's happening? I don't react immediately, just think about it. And sometimes it takes days to respond to any, especially if uh, someone is like, hitting my emotions very hard. So what I do is I usually go back to solitude, and then I start writing, and analyzing that, what has happened. Is it because of my insecurity that my emotions are getting into this state of, like has been elevating, or is it really the situation needed to be responded in that way? So in most cases, it is so important to actually respond to in a very calm way, because then it neutralizes all the situations. No matter what situation is, sometimes definitely it requires an immediate response, and of course we need to do that. Even in that case, especially when your emotions are high, it's better not to respond on the basis of the emotions, because either you're angry, frustrated, depressed, sad, whatever. If you react on the basis of emotions, it is most likely you'll take a wrong decision. So it's better to, I mean, these emotions are a signal. Of course, it tells you that something is going wrong, either with internally or the externally. Mostly it is the case with internally, like, somebody has excuse me, somebody excuse me, sorry, my throat is still
Fine.
so. So somebody, like for example, say something really bad to us, and we felt like, the entire, we felt so like anger and aggression toward that person. They say like, okay, we need to say something really bad, and only then we calm down. Like I was giving a lecture to some to a group, and they said that, we like sometimes when they feel angry or aggression towards some person, they said we don't feel calm unless we actually tell those things, those words to them, which is in our head. It's like, yes, it is important. Like when you have that, like that anger towards someone, your mind keep stuck, that person is bad, that person was mean to me, or whatever it is. So you have to just stop those thoughts and try to divert your mind to someone for the time being, so you don't respond the same way that your mind is trying to do this. So so in my case, what I just usually do is just take a pause. I just take a pause and divert my mind and do not respond immediately to that situation. And then later on, then revisit the situation and then analyze it. Okay, is this, does that situation requires the same response or in another way? So that's how I usually deal with the situations.
Oh, I love that. I love how you would describe all that, Ambreen. And it's so much about those mental highways and back roads of like, are we reacting versus responding? And I think that's so key. And I love what you're sharing with us. Now, Ambreen, I feel like I can talk with you all day. I absolutely love chatting with you, and time just seems to fly whenever we're talking. I love it. I want to share with our listeners, well, just a couple of things, like some exciting things for 2025. In addition to my book coming out, Ambreen and I are also we co-founded an incredible impact activators, and I wanted you to tell us about that real quick, Ambreen, because please tell us. I'm going to put it on our banner right now.
Yes.
All the amazing events that
Yes. Yes, and thank you so much for sharing that energy, enthusiasm, and the same vision. So I'm so glad that we could actually take this initiative, Impact Activators. It's all about bringing people together and creating a big impact. I mean, those who have been doing a lot of work uh, in their field, but they need some direction. Their work needs to be amplified, and we can work together. I know that there are lots of people who have the desire to bring about the change in this world, to bring about or to share their voice, and that's how I think we thought that we can actually create more events, create more awareness about so many things. So thank you, Matthew. I know that I love chatting with you too. And thanks for joining all those people. I mean, I really seeing the good names and all those friends.
Yes.
So anyways,
so much, everybody. All your incredible comments. I've been posting them on here. So thank you, everyone, for joining.
Yeah. So the impact activators are like now we have. I mean, when we took the initiative this like early this year, and we've been discussing, that for last few months, but we never thought that all like and now we see that all are the 2025 is like kind of filled with the different events and with lots of amazing people that we'll be collaborating with. And we never thought that how we can build a community so quickly. And I'm really amazed that the way people responded to our initiative, and the way we got so many like-minded people together to conduct lots of activities, campaigns, and create some meaningful impact. What are your thoughts also?
I think it's amazing. I'm so excited, and I'm so excited about what we can do together and the ripple effects we can create together with just incredible ideas, with change makers, with leaders. Our first event, I have scrolling down on the bottom here, is on February 22nd, and that is with the incredible Dr. Barbara Bocadis, and it will be our I have the name here, the International Symposium on Innovation and Education. So be sure to register for that. That'll be our first summit. It's all free. And I am so glad we're able to talk about just the exciting things that we're doing together with the book, with Impact Activators, with everything you're doing, Ambreen, and with everything that we're all doing together as a community, and all of the amazing people that have been commenting and posting. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are doing incredible work. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, I mean, with Impact Activator, as I think I mentioned in one of my posts also, like our focus is on education, on healthcare, and the mental health. So this is our main agenda that we want to focus this year, and also on the like it would be the focus ongoing. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this upcoming summit. which is I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm so glad that Barbara, like we're doing it with Barbara, because she's amazing. She brought a lot of insights, and she's doing a lot of putting a lot of effort to make it happen, because this is our also first event. So it's amazing to work with lots of amazing people. I'm so excited. Yeah.
Oh, me too. Me too. Well, thank you so much, Ambreen. I truly appreciate your time today. And be sure, if y'all have not had a chance to subscribe to my newsletter, I'd really appreciate it. I don't spam. I just send email once or twice a month with updates on the book. So please check out tomomistolove.com and just subscribe to the newsletter. And I would really appreciate that, as well as check us out on Impact Activators. And then make sure you check out all of Ambreen's incredible work. You can find Ambreen mostly on LinkedIn, but also pretty much everywhere, right? I see you all over. You're just such a powerhouse, and I love it. But I would say primarily LinkedIn's the best place to follow you on social media.
Yes. I'm mostly active on LinkedIn, but yes, I'm pretty much everywhere. Like I'm on YouTube, I'm on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, I'm on Substack, I'm on X, I'm on Insta, I'm on Facebook. So like you can just write my name, and then definitely you will find my whereabouts, and you can just message me anywhere and I'll respond. But the best way is to connect with me on LinkedIn, because I think this is the platform I love the most, because I like the people here. They are very much professional, mature, and I think that I found my community from LinkedIn. So this is my favorite platform. Yeah.
Me too. Me too. Well, thank you so much again. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you again for joining. And I really appreciate it, Ambreen. And thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful chatting with you and having this conversation. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you, Matthew, also.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Barbara, and everyone
Thank you,
else.
Jen.
I will make sure that I personally send everyone a note of thank you to Melissa, everyone here. Really appreciate it. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.